We are at the supercharger in Neteland, and today I will be testing Model 3 with trailer. So right now I have Optimus Prime behind me here with a big trailer. So you might be wondering, why the heck did I bring Optimus Prime here? Well, you know what? I consider what kind of test should I do? What are people interested in, and what am I interested in? I consider taking a trip towards Bergen or whatever, but that takes too long and might not be too interesting, except for maybe nice scenery. But what I want to find out is how efficient is the Model 3, and how does it ride and drive, and how does it handle the trailer compared to a Model X. So I just happen to have Model X. I don't have e-tron or I-Pace. So the trailer behind me here is from Neteland, Byggmester, yes. So they were so kind to lend me this trailer, because I sold my own trailer to my mom. So it's 600 kilos, fairly big, actually really big. It makes Optimus Prime look small. So what I'm going to do first is to test the trailer and do some tests with Optimus Prime, the Model X, and then I will do the same test with the Model 3. So we're just preparing now, charging up the car. So let me show you what the plan is. So yeah, we've been juicing up a little bit. We are now at 274 kilometers. So the plan is to drive 46 kilometers. Oh, hang on, there. That means 92 kilometers. So it will take a little over 1 hour. I will cruise at 90 kilometers per hour. The real speed is about 88. That's what the speed that the trucks drive at. You know, in Norway and many other countries, when you pull a trailer, your maximum speed is 80 kilometers per hour. So what I want to find out with this run is that I will drive it, a typical run in the 90 kilometers, somewhat realistic, and I will measure how high the consumption is, and I will also measure the heat loss. So I think we are good to go now. Let's measure and unplug, and then off we go. All right, we are on the move. So yeah, again cruising at 90 on the speedometer. So let's see, temperature is 20 degrees Celsius outside, so nice dry road so far. It's supposed to be a little bit of rain this afternoon, but all right. And the car feels pretty nice and stable. Optimus Prime is 2,600 kilos, and we have also the backup camera here, and you can see, actually, you can see the ball joint. What would you call it? The toe ball, yeah, the toe. No, but you can see the ball in the camera, yeah. So that is really useful when you back up to it. So, and you see here that you can have the camera on while you're driving, and this is the highest position if you want to have it, if you want to just inspect the trailer while you're driving. So that's possible. Some cars does not allow you to have the backup camera on. Actually, I would say most cars don't allow it. Most cars will only allow you to have it on when you are at low speed, and then once you go faster, then it shuts off. So Tesla is somewhat unique there. All right, we're back at the starting point, and if you look at the screenshot, you see that we spent exactly 179 kilometers of range. And if you do the math based on earlier knowledge about the typical, that means 37.6 kilowatt hours spent. And then the car's computer claims we also spent 37.6. So according to this measurement, it doesn't seem like we have any heat loss, actually. Maybe because, you know, the road is fairly even. We don't have too crazy uphills or downhill, not too crazy regen. So in this case, as long as you have very smooth road, then you have almost no heat loss. Yeah. So we'll see now how it will be once we try the Model 3. But I have to do one more test now, control test, which is to drive without trailer to see what the consumption is. And then I want to know how many watt hour per kilometer does the trailer add. And then we do the same thing with Model 3. So you see where this is going. Yes. All right, I unhitched the trailer, and then actually right after I unplugged, the cooling was still running, so I waited a couple of minutes. And now it seems like the cooling has stopped. So 230 kilometers, then off we go then. All right, we're back at the starting point. So I don't know what the heck happened. Very good day today. We have 170 watt-hour per kilometer average consumption. I've done measurement before with exact same car, exact same tires, but I think back then it was not that hot. Well, 22 degrees Celsius, but back then I measured 185 watt-hour per kilometer. But maybe the difference was that today, when I unplugged, I waited for the cooling to stop before. But then in the previous test, I just left, and then the cooling ran when I did the test, and that test was only 50 kilometers. This test was almost 100 kilometers. So that means that portion of the time where the car was cooling down, the battery was larger. So maybe that could explain the difference, but wow, it's still really good. 170 watt-hour per kilometer equals to almost 500 kilometers of range on a nice new battery. Not this one though, it has some degradation. But anyway, what I wanted to find out is that the trailer adds 230 watt-hour per kilometer on this car. Yes. So now let's hurry back home and then get the Model 3, and then we do the test what you guys actually want to see. All right, it's been a couple hours. I went back with Optimus, came back here with the Model 3 with tow bar. So this is just a long range dual. Yeah, the most common Model 3 in Norway and throughout, I guess, the rest of the world. So the owner already put it on. Yes, it's actually it works more or less like let me see, like the Model X. So you have a key here, and then you just put it in, and there's no automatic on off whatever. And then I have to find the plug is there, so it's slightly harder to access the plug. Yeah, and then we actually see parts of whatever that one is. I wonder how that will be during winter. You have all that schmutz there, so there should be some cover here. The same problem is with Model X, really. But okay, let's see. So we start with exactly 400 kilometers. How many percent is that? Let me see here. Just to check display here. 80%. Okay, 80%, 400. Yeah, because 499 is 100%. And then we will just do the same thing. Drive up there and back again, yeah, at 90 kilometers per hour. So let's go then. All right, we are on the move, and as forecasted, it started raining a little bit. Yeah, so actually I think it doesn't matter too much, because okay, the driving condition now will be slightly worse than with Optimus Prime, but I just want to see the difference with and without trailer. So we will just still have to do this test, yeah, finish it and see what kind of consumption we get. It should be significantly lower than the Model X. All right, we're back at the supercharger, and when I look at the numbers from the Model 3, this car claims that we drove 92.4 kilometers, and if we look at Google, it's actually 92 kilometers. So this one matches Google better, whereas Optimus, the Model X, claimed that we drove 94.6 kilometers. So I calculated that actually the odometer or the trip meter in Optimus is 3% off. Yeah. But okay, it doesn't matter too much. But anyway, so we consume 130 watt-hour per kilometer. That was the consumption here. And then in Optimus case, in the Model X case, the car consumed, how much was it again? 230 watt-hour per kilometer more. So if we do the math, we add them here, then we should average 360 with the trailer, right? So now I will just juice back up and then hook on the trailer and then run the trailer test finally. Okay, let's try to attach to the trailer now. So I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so we have the backup camera, and very important, we see the ball in the camera, so I can place the ball right where it should be. Okay, so let's see. This makes hooking and unhooking a lot easier. The screen here is slightly smaller than in the Model S and X. Well, I mean Model X. Model S doesn't have a tow hitch. So all you have to do is just slowly... Whoa, that's a bit laggy. You see, I see that kind of lag in the Model 3 only, in the backup camera in the Model 3. I've never seen that kind of lag in the Model X before. I'm not sure what that's all about, but you have to be careful because you're actually trusting on what you see in the camera. So just be gentle when you do it like this. Carefully back up. Whoa, you heard a little clunk there. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's pretty good. Now we just have to lower it. Let me see, why the brake is on. Okay, lower on the ball. There, secure it. And then we are good to go. Let me see, just put this one in the right place here. All right, and as for the securing wire, ooh, this is way better than Model X. Yeah, the Model X was impossible to reach. I had to add, you know what? I had to buy an extra hook similar to this one and attach it so it will be easier. But here we have really accessible hook. Look, oh yes, way better, because you shouldn't. Some people they put this wire around here, which is bad, because if this one falls off, then you're screwed. I've seen a video, it was actually a Norwegian guy, where this tow hitch fell off. Yeah, all right, and then the connector then, let me see how good or bad that one is. It's over here. Okay, let me see. Now I just have to find out which way it goes. Like this, maybe? No? Yes? Or let me try. You know, it's like you just have to feel. First time, you know where it is, the spot, the G spot, and then you just put it in, twist it around a little bit, and then you stay there. Oh yes. So, okay, that was not too bad. Yeah. All right, I moved a little bit. Let me just check here. Yeah, I always check that everything is secured. So you see that the total allowed weight for the trailer is probably 2,000 kilos, yes. So this means that if you have a Class B driver's license, then you cannot drive a Model 3 with this one. Yeah, it has to be... I think we have a follower here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Just saw you. Charging my car.
Cool, yeah.
Are you testing?
Yes.
Not from your mother?
No. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So.
Could I take a photo with you?
Oh, okay. Yes. See. Right. Yeah. Take photos. Selfie time with the trailer in the background, or without. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can take a photo.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah. See you. Well, anyway, so just wanted to check the stuff, how it's rolling, how it's riding. So looks good. Yeah. This is the first time I've seen a Model 3 with some proper stuff on it. Yes. So let's go back a little bit. So you can see, you know, I try to simulate a case where you load something big, let's say a caravan or something. So of course, the consumption will be pretty high and the range will be low. If I have time, I will test some smaller trailers. I think most people, they will just pull around with smaller trailers, but now we try the worst case, yes. So before you guys start yelling, this is worst case scenario, and yeah, we'll see. But let's plug in and juice up a little bit more and then start the testing. All right, immediately I feel like well, it's a 600 kilo trailer after all, so it's pulling the car slightly more than Optimus Prime, because Optimus is 2,600 kilo. This is only about 1,800 and something. No wait, it's actually I think it's 1,900 kilos. Yeah, so that means 700 kilo less in the car. Yeah, so I can imagine how it'll be if you have to pull 900 kilo, which is maximum for this car, 910 then. But overall, on the other hand, I think it feels stable so far, yeah. And as I mentioned with the Model X, you can inspect the camera here while you're driving at high speed, yeah, unlike most other cars. So looks good, yeah, looks good. Consumption is somewhat high, but it will stabilize soon, yeah, so we'll see. Oh, and it started raining, so that will increase the consumption slightly. But you know, I was about to say, why are the fossils driving so slow? I'm doing 90 here in the 110 zone, but then it turns out that it's an e-Golf in front of me. So I might have to hammer the e-Golf. No wonder why these e-Golfers, they always brag that they have so nice consumption. Well, you get nice consumption when you cruise 20 kilometers per hour under the speed limit, so people with trailer have to overtake you, man. Or woman. Alright, we are now at Kolmoen, halfway mark, and consumption is actually somewhat high, but we have slightly worse driving conditions. It's been a little bit wet. It's still, I mean, it takes a long time before the road is soaked, but I bet this moist road might add 5, maybe even 10 watt-hour per kilometer higher consumption. But I'm a little bit surprised that the consumption with the Model 3 is somewhat high. You know, I was expecting 330 here. It might be because the wind have changed, or maybe it eased off. I'm not sure. So we have to see in the end when we get back what the consumption is. But yeah, okay. So far, so good. Oh look, almost no wind at Mjøsen. Yeah. So you can see the windsock here. It's hanging, yeah, the sock is hanging. Alright, almost back then. You see, we're getting close to the supercharger, and normally it would say preconditioning the battery for supercharging, but now it doesn't say it because I suspect that the battery is warm enough. Yeah, it doesn't need to do anything. It will get full speed, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so consumption right now is 379. It seems to be about 380, but we have to look right when we end here. All right, we are back at the supercharger. Now let's look at some numbers here. So we averaged 377 watt-hour per kilometer. That is somewhat high. So it means that the consumption on this run was 247 higher than the one without trailer. And then when I use Optimus Prime, the consumption went up by only 130. So it could, some of the explanation could be because we had a little bit of rain, but still, it seems like the consumption on this car goes up by more than the Model X, and I think it's because the Model X is somewhat boxy, so when the trailer is behind it, it drafts behind it. It also drafts behind this car, but it gets less of the drafting effect. You see, this is why I always pick vans and buses and big rigs and semis when I draft behind them to save energy. And what else did I see? I'm calculated a 3% loss, so 3% versus 2% on Optimus, no big difference, I guess. I was actually expecting more loss on this, I mean, more loss on Model X because it's less efficient, but I'm not sure why. This one has 1% more. 1% is within the error margin though, so okay. And well, actually I could also try to estimate the range. Actually, with this big trailer here, the range on a full charge is 200 kilometers, which is slightly worse than the Model X, but the Model X has bigger batteries. But on the other hand, the Model X is not that much more. It's more like actually, yeah, it might just be 220 on the Model X and then 200 on this one. And the reason for that is, of course, because this one is slightly more efficient. So really, really impressive, very close. But there's one more thing I have to do, which is to test fast charging. So I don't want to wait too long here. The battery might be cooling down. I want to test something. So let's go to the Ionity charger and charge it up. All right, we are now at the Ionity charger. So we just plugged in and started charging. So let's have a look. It should go fast. And the question is, how fast is it? Well, we can look here. But this one is before the loss between the cable and the car. So let's look inside. Oh, 140, 150, oh, 160. Will it hit 190? Oh, close enough. 185. Okay, So this is just what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if we will get almost maximum speed or not. So hopefully this will go up. Ooh. After a while it will go up. I actually want to show you kilometers now, just so you can get an idea real time how damn fast the kilometers goes up. So yeah, wow, I can. Ooh, that was a clonk sound. Yes, you heard it. It's not the contactor. It's not the power switch sound. It's just the clonk sound. Let's see if it bugs actually. You're just gonna sit here and wait a little bit. But anyway, we can watch this screen. So I'm gonna explain a little bit there. So why did I want to charge here and test? Because when I did that, the world record with the Model 3 also, I drove at 170 kilometers per hour. No wait, I drove at 190 kilometers per hour. And I remember that the average was 400. Yeah, around 400 after some losses. And then, well, actually, yeah, okay, so I cruised 190, but the average speed for that run was around 170. So what you can do is you can take 170 times 400 and you get over 70 kilowatt average discharge rate, right? So the average power for that run was, oh, look at that. That is a little bit slow already. I'm not sure why it's that slow. Okay, we can switch now to percentage because it's supposed to be faster, I think. Yeah, it's supposed to be faster than this. I'm not sure why we're not getting maximum speed. We're supposed to hit about 190 kilowatt right now. Could it be because the battery is too hot? I'm not sure. But anyway, so on that run, I averaged over 70 kilowatt. And then I noticed that the speed was not as high as it should. And I suspected that there was something about, you know, it seems maybe I have a theory that the BMS, if you're running at too high speed too long, then the BMS says, no, this is too much, we have to reduce speed when we're charging. So when I reduced the speed to 170, then the average power went down quite a lot to about 50, 60 kilowatt only. And then I was able to get 185, 190 kilowatt when I charged. And now I suspect that because the load was somewhat high, actually the load here, the average power here was not that high. It was only about 30 something kilowatt. But still, you see, or it could be early throttling, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, yeah. There we go. The famous charging bug, yeah. So what you have to do then, if that occurs, is that, okay, I have to go inside the car. So then you have to unlock, okay, and then unplug the cable. And of course this sucks because you see, we already paid for a charging session. I'm not sure, there's a timeout. Yeah, they always say start at 50 every time it bugs. So what you can do now, you can call Ionity, you can call hotline here, yes, and then ask them to restart the charging session. I will just start it again, yeah. Just for the show, I will start it again. Fortunately, Tritium, they are the manufacturer of this charger. They know about this bug and they are working on a workaround. And supposedly it happens with other cars too, not only Model 3. It happens with even a Kona. We have a Kona behind us there. So let's see now. Okay. Oh, you know what? I've seen that once it bugs on one charger, then it will bug. Yeah. And then you have to move to another charger. Well, actually, okay, it worked this time. So let's see again then. Let's go inside the car and take a look what kind of speed we get. And let's see how long it takes before it bugs again. Yeah. But anyway, so I wanted to test this because it seems like if your trailer is large, like this case, then you cannot expect the maximum speed for some reason. I'm not sure why. The battery should be warm enough. I've been driving a long time with this trailer, you know. That's why I did a long run versus a short run only. So the battery should be warm enough. And my theory is that maybe the battery is it's not too warm. It has active cooling, but like I mentioned, maybe it has something to do that the BMS senses that the heat has been too long over time, and that's why it says, okay, this is too much, man. But most of the time when you have more normal driving, or you pull a smaller trailer, or you don't hammer it on the autobahn, then you will have, then you will have lower, you will have peaks maybe, but then on the average you don't go too high on the temperature, and then maybe then the battery, the BMS says, okay, when you are charging you can go to 190. Yeah, but you know, I did the math again, and I think actually that the range on this car, the Model 3 with the trailer, versus the range on the Model X might be more or less the same. Actually, what I think is that, okay, if you have something, if you pull something big, let's say a caravan or a big trailer, if you go for the long range, the 100 pack, then the Model X has better range than this car. But if you pull a small trailer, then this car has the advantage that it's more efficient. So then I believe, I haven't tested it, that Model 3 pulling a small trailer has more range than a Model X pulling the same small trailer. Yeah, and then of course the Model 3 charges faster than the Model X. So I have lots of experience with pulling trailer with the Model X Optimus Prime, and I know that in general that on a long trip you can expect about 65 kilometers per hour. Let's say if I drive from here, from Oslo to Copenhagen, and I can cruise at 88 kilometers per hour, I still have to take those charging stop, and you can expect 65 kilometers per hour average speed, including charging stop. And with the Model 3, using the same trailer, I should average 75. Yeah, so 75 versus 65 is pretty huge when you pull a trailer. And the reason for that is because, one, this car is more efficient, two, it charges faster. Yeah, so even though it has that throttle speed, it's still faster than Model X. So and of course, okay, it's not as fast as a fossil car, but it's pretty cheap. Yeah, as long as the charger doesn't bug. Yeah. Oh, boom again. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe you guys want to see the charging screen. All right, at 50%, it's down to 130 something kilowatts. So I'm not going to sit here too long and charge. Yeah, and also the probability of the charging bug seems to be higher when the state of charge is low. Usually, if I can pass 50%, then I will most likely get a successful charge until I stop myself. But yeah, so there you go, my test of Model 3 with trailer. I'm not sure what else I should test. I mean, I tried to show you guys all the important stuff about the trailer, and especially, I think most important for you guys is the range and the consumption and how does it handle. And well, I found out it's great. So, you know, it's nice that we have another EV that can pull trailer, because we don't have many out there. We have the Model X, Tesla Model X, we have e-tron, EQC has it, I-Pace. Okay, and an ENV200, but ENV200 can only pull 430 kilos. So still, it's nice that you have some more cars out there that can pull trailer. It makes, I think it makes the car more desirable for people who are still holding on to fossil car, and they don't want to move over to electric because they need a car with good range, and also they can pull a trailer, and this one can do it. It's a little bit low limit. I wish it was 1,500 kilo at least, so you can pull bigger load, more caravans or whatever. But maybe that one is coming one day. Maybe with the Model Y you can get more range. I mean, sorry, more weight limit. Yeah. So maybe tomorrow, if the weather is nice, I will do another video, and I will test this car again with a smaller trailer, because the owner here, he also owns a smaller trailer, and that might be more common for people rather than a big trailer like this. But yeah, by the way, you know, the owner here, his name is Frode. He was so nice to lend me this car for testing. He said that not many people had made video about trailers and Model 3 yet. So super nice of him. So, you know, I already have plenty of free supercharging. So if this video convinced you to buy a Model 3, then please consider his referral link. Yeah, you can find it in the description also. I'll put it there. So I think I used a little bit of supercharging today, not too crazy. Yeah. So maybe, hopefully, he will get some free supercharging then. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.